Welcome to the GMBN Tech Show. Coming up this week, we have got dual bikes for the haul,
a potentially clever saddle hop-up,
an ATB,
a rad hardcore trail bike,
and a cargo bike with a twist.
Interesting. Okay, before we dive into the news, but it's actually because of what we've got in the news, a bit of a teaser, I think it got me talking and thinking about that kind of classic trailhead debate that's gone on since mountain biking first started, which is what material is the best material.
Oof, that is a good one.
I know.
That is very good.
I know I've got to just caveat because we'll talk about steel being kind of like the early material. And before the commenters comment, I know that Charlie Cunningham was making stuff from aluminium, well, essentially at the same time as, Fisher, Breed, Ritchie, all of those people. Yep. So there was aluminium early on, but it didn't really get going until Klein and Cannondale. So, yeah. And we've got to talk about titanium, I guess, as well.
We have.
Yeah, right,
sure.
OK. Should we talk about steel first and why it's a good material?
So it's tough.
Yes.
It's strong.
Yep.
Strength allows sort of skinny tubes that sort of create a really nice trail feel.
Yeah, they do. They're nice and flexy in a good way.
Exactly. It's very compliant, very forgiving material. It's cheap as well.
Can be.
Can be, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything has its...
You
get expensive, you get cheap.
It is heavy. That's the crux of it. Unfortunately, steel is... Yeah, if you've got... it's just heavy.
Yeah.
That's but I guess for a long time it was the mainstream. It was the product because of all those properties. And then we started to get into the lightweight cult of things. Then we moved to aluminium alloys in a really big way. Yeah. And we should actually say that steel is an alloy. So often people go, alloy frame. And just assume it's an aluminium one when actually steel's alloy too. But that's probably not helpful. I mean, we say aluminium alloy because it is alloyed, so it's not just pure aluminium.
No.
There was a French brand in like the 1930s that was making bikes from pure aluminium. I think it was called Bura or something along those lines. They were bonkers. They broke very early. But Klein, Cannondale, they really started this march towards really lightweight. And because of the material, it's not as stiff as steel is.
No.
But then, because of the way we have to use the tubing and because it's lightweight, we can make these massive down tubes. We can make these huge forms from aluminium and it still be light. It then makes it really stiff.
Yeah.
So I guess lots of early bikes that were aluminium alloy weren't very comfortable. They were very stiff. But now with hydroforming technology, so this is where we use like high pressure oil to kind of super form the material, they can be actually really nice riding too, and they're quite light. And they don't corrode. I mean, technically they still corrode, but not as easy as steel. I guess we should talk about magnesium because at the moment I think it's only Vast making a magnesium bike, but lots of people will be thinking it's very exotic, but loads of fork lowers are a cast magnesium is out there. It is really common, and that's because it is a high-performance metal. It is very lightweight. It's got lots of the things we need in terms of stiffness and, lightweight. And it doesn't catch fire. You need little chips of it to catch fire. So don't try and set your forks on fire. Right, what else? What's the other material?
Carbon.
Oh, yeah, we do,
Yeah, space age stuff.
I mean, yes, only recently though, because I think carbon fibre initially couldn't go into space because the resins didn't work with cosmic rays. They melted. Yeah.
Dangerous, that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, not what you want. But it's been around a bit longer as a material than you think it might.
Yeah, it has, since the 80s. The 1880s. Yeah. In light bulbs though, so not in bikes.
No.
And I guess in bikes, it is the 80s, but in the 1980s, there were like two brands. There was Trimble and there was Kestrel that started making, carbon fibre bikes. They were really, fascinating. Two very different approaches. Like Kestrel's, they did a road bike that was missing a seat tube. It looked kind of wild, not dissimilar to that Colnago that came out.
Oh, yeah.
Trimble did like this wild cantilever bike as well, which is bonkers. If you've ridden either, let us know. There was early suspension bikes as well. But the key to carbon fibre and why it's really revolutionary is, it's very, very strong. It can be made very lightweight. It's 2/3 of it's carbon fibre. There's a third of it that's resin. And the kind of acceleration of what they were able to do with the resins, because the carbon has essentially stayed the carbon. And I think what's really clever is, whereas a metal tube, it's essentially, without going super wild on lots of like forming or butting as it's called, it's the same strength in lots of different directions.
Yeah.
Whereas with carbon fibre, the way that it's made into that form, be it a tube or a square or a handlebar, the way you play with the layup and the orientation of the fibres can completely change how that material is.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
really bonkers and really clever. But then that means that it's not just looking, if you look at an aluminium frame, you're like, oh, it's got nice welds. Or a steel frame, oh, has it got nice welds? Is it nicely brazed? You get maybe a perception of what it's like. But with carbon fibre, you kind of can't.
No, it's... I do love a carbon bike.
Oh, well, that's good.
It's
Great.
As a material to ride, it's very compliant, very light, very reactive.
Well, and that's through the design process. A bit like early alloy bikes, a lot of carbon fibre bikes early on were overly stiff, because I think lots of brands were kind of scared that, oh, this is going to break. So made them really strong and really tough.
Yeah.
So the ride was, well, just a bit not very nice. But now, because we've got this optimisation of how the materials are laid up and how you can change the ride, it is impressive.
Engineered compliance.
It is, yeah, literally, yeah.
But again, the sort of developments we're seeing with aluminium as well.
It is. I guess
Can't sniff that.
the other thing that we haven't talked about is cost. So we talked briefly, you touched on with steel bikes that they're kind of often cheaper, and they can be, but I think the more performance ones are on a par with alloy frames and almost on a par with some carbon frames. And that's because you have to get really fancy steel to sort of compete.
Yeah.
And with alloys, you're right, you're talking about the forming of it. And I think with carbon fibre, it's a weird one where it could be cost competitive, but if you want a fancy carbon fibre, because the way it's like hand laid in, you've got these little layers of fabric, the layup schedule going in, it is really time consuming, so it should be expensive. Maybe not. Correct me in the comments down below. I guess, what's your favourite? You're on the carbon fence, you like the carbon?
It depends what sort. It does differ on what sort of bikes. Obviously, in my opinion, anything bigger than an enduro bike, I would personally go aluminium.
Oh, interesting.
For durability.
Oh, you see, I'd go, on those bikes, I'd go with carbon because you can make them really bomb-proof.
Yeah.
I'd go the other way. Like, I'd probably want an alloy hardtail because I don't mind dropping it and things like that.
Fair enough. I say I like the performance element of carbon on a lighter, shorter travel bike. So,
Okay, there we go. Well, that's our take. What's your take? Let us know what the best material is for frames in the comments down below.
And we're on to the news.
Yes, lots of news. Got to smash through it.
Lots this week. Cool. So we'll start with the new Norco Revolver.
Ooh.
So their XC race bike has had an overhaul. So I think the outgoing model was launched in 2019.
Yeah.
So it's been a little while now, so definitely due a bit of a...
6 years. I mean, that's a chunk of time.
I mean, how courses have developed, it's going to need a refresh.
Agreed.
So interestingly, there are 2 models.
Nice.
And I think the naming system's quite interesting on, because I'd maybe say it's a little bit backwards from what we'd maybe used to. So you've got the C120, which is 120mm on the front and 115 on the rear.
Right.
And then the C130, which is 130mm on the front and 120 on the rear of the bike.
Right, okay. That is quite confusing. But I can see why they've done it. It kind of helps push cross-country forward a bit.
Yeah.
Because I think lots of people get turned off by cross-country bikes. They think it's one thing, when actually it could be a lot more. They are really capable these days.
Cool thing with this is as well, it's 450 grams lighter.
Wow.
Yeah, than the sort of outgoing version, which is already light enough to do XC World Cups on.
Yeah.
So this is just even betterer, which is cool. There's some raw finished surfaces on it. You've got titanium hardware, super light linkages, and then you've still got double row enduro bearings in.
Okay.
It's all really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Geometry. I mean, it's been 6 years since the old one came out.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of developments there, but this new one is very progressive. 5 sizes from 5'1", so 155 centimetres, up to 6'5", which is 196.
Okay.
Each platform has 3 price points. Pricing on the 130 complete bike from 4,899 Canadian dollars or 3,899 US dollars. That's for build with XT-Di2. That actually seems quite competitive.
Yeah, it does actually, doesn't it? I mean, it's a chunk of money, but you're getting an XC race bike with really progressive numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 130. Is that trail light, cross-country plus?
Yeah.
We'll not say a new category. Nice.
That's cool.
Frame sets, you said frame sets are available as well. Oh,
Yes,
that's real good.
yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, so I've seen something that matches in the fact that it's also available in a purple violet colour.
Nice.
And it's also for going long and going fast, but it's at the opposite end of the sort of like frame material debate.
Nice.
So this is Fairlight. They're a UK manufacturer, and this is, well, their spin on something that can go really fast and really efficient over really rough terrain. And it's a hardtail. It's called the Holt. And it's already got a win at the really tough Hellenic mountain race, which is like an ultra-distance mountain race, which is kind of bonkers if you look into some of the stats and numbers. But yeah, he's already won on this bike.
Nice.
So I guess we should flag that this is steel.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It is. And you might think, oh, okay, we've been there, we've done that. It's a steel bike. But there's so much in there. If you look at kind of all the kind of 9 tubes, they've all got lots and lots of tweaks.
Yep.
It's all very subtle. It's all about function over form. So I think, Dieter Rams or Jobs Brandts, who's sort of the bike equivalent of Dieter Rams, would be very pleased with this bike. Right, stats. Designed for 100mm to 120mm fork. It's got a custom tube set from Reynolds, 853, so that's sort of not the very, very, very bestest, but because that's 953.
Yep.
This is 853. Lots and lots of clever work on the tube, so hopefully we'll be able to stick some of the cool bits up on screen, but it is bonkers when you add it all together. Seat post is for 30.9 instead of the outgoing 27.2, but it's the same weight. They've really sweated all the details. Tyre clearance 2.6.
Oof.
But the back end is still really short. It's got 435mm chainstay.
Wow.
So it's real clever. Top tube has got like this clever multi-butting shape. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see it in some of the pictures. Interestingly, so it's got a threaded bottom bracket, which is kind of a no-brainer. They're really nice. Lots of people like them. But they've gone for a T47.
Okay.
So lots of the common threaded ones are kind of a BSA, so it's a standard, pretty small size. T47 is a bigger diameter, and they've chosen this, well, to make it a bit lighter, and also to make sure that they've got enough tyre clearance and seat tube clearance and all of the clearance around, because it's a bigger part you can weld onto it. Painted frame without the bolts, without the axle or the axle mount is 2,220 grams. Nice. So it is on the heavier side of things. And you might be thinking, okay, this is going to be mega expensive because it's 853 steel. It's really fancy. It's got loads of detail sweated into it. But frame only starts from £1,099.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. Completes with XT, DT Swiss wheels, RockShox SID from 3,600.
And that's mechanical XT?
It is mechanical XT,
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Moving away from bikes briefly to bike components.
Oh, lovely, yes.
So, reverse components, it's a seat switch that essentially allows you to alter the angle of your saddle.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, the brand themselves, say a little bit before.
Oh, yeah, of course.
They make some really, really cool single speed sort of, I want to say like adaptions.
Yeah, I mean, effectively, it's like a really, really, really nice machined rear mech. A bit like the Madrone rear mech that we had last week, where it's like this super machined rear mech, but it's not a rear mech, it's just a single speed tensioner. Yeah. But they do it really nicely.
Yeah. And now they're putting that sort of finishing quality into this seat device. And why might you want one of these? So if you think of when you set your seat angle, you might set it flat. And then as soon as you start climbing, it's pointing nose up.
Yeah.
And you're putting your weight forward, you then want it down.
Yeah, and well, I guess the converse, the opposite is if you set it up for loads of climbing, when you're on the flat, the saddle's not at the right place. So interesting. I like that.
So the adjustment on this, you get negative 6 degrees for going up or 40 mil of nose drop for going
down. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Nice.
That's cool. Pricing is at €169.90.
I mean, it's a niche product, but I think if you're climbing lots, I think that might be, might be the piece de resistance of your bike. Back to bikes. Yeah. This one is kind of like fun. It's a bit bonkers. Let me know in the comments if you like it. You might hate it. If you do, then that's great. Let us know. Brother Cycles are a UK brand of brothers. I know that's awful. It's not a pun, it's just reality.
It's a thing.
They started making kind of fixie bikes and then they've drifted into off-road. And this is their pine cone. And
Okay.
it's really fun. And it's kind of like their reimagination of a 90s mountain bike. So you might hate it,
Yep.
but again, you might like it. So we've got a rigid mountain bike. It's got skinny steel tubing, so
Yep.
it's kind of designed to be flexy and forgiving, shall we say. Rigid forks, and you can build it up in loads of different ways. So it's got mounts for V-brakes, it's got disc mounts. You could run it geared, you could run it single speed because the dropouts do a slidey thing. So it's designed to be run with 650B,
Yep.
but it's got loads of clearance up to a 2.6.
Oof.
So that means you could technically run like a 700C or a 29er in there, but
Yeah.
you could run 26.
Yeah,
You
that'd be
just,
cool.
just go
cool.
wild. Yeah,
What's the geometry like?
I mean, it's all right. I think top tubes run from 564 up to 606 millimeters over
Okay.
4 sizes. So I just think it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Just a bit of an oddity that you could
cool.
build up in loads of ways.
Yeah.
Like I think it'd be quite fun as a winter bike because you could go, oh, okay, I've bimbled around town on 700s. Now I'm going to kind of ride in the winter with some old mud tyres that I've got on 26.
That'd be cool.
Build it as you like. It's a bit odd.
Very cool.
Brother, I should say, I've got proper mountain bikes too, because I've got the Big Bro, which is more their proper grown-up bike.
Yeah.
Again, it's steel. It's a bit sort of burlier build. You can build it as 275 with 3-inch tyres.
Yep.
Or you could go up to 2.6 with 29er.
Okay.
It's got its own rigid fork, but you can run it with a 100mm suspension fork. And yeah, there's loads of options. It's got proper, it's a proper modern bike, for want of a better word. You can put a dropper post on it. And I really, really, really like the colour on the swamp thing. It's like a green with a green blown over the top. Reminds me of my first mountain bike.
That's cool.
Complete bikes for the Big Bro start at £1,849, but frames are £949.
Nice.
So yeah, fun option.
That's cool.
Oh, just remembered.
Go on.
That reverse components thing reminds me of, there was a product we saw at Sea Otter,
Yep.
which was the anomaly component switch grade.
Okay.
So I think theirs started out as a 3-position. So it had a lever like the reverse
Yep.
one, lever under your saddle and you could click it. And I think their new one is, I think it might be 4-position,
Okay.
but similar product.
Nice.
Theirs is Canadian, opposed to being German, but really similar thing. Interesting. Yeah.
Nice. Cool. So we had lots of chat about metal bikes.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
Now we'll talk about something carbon, fast, and I think really cool.
Great. What are we talking about?
Aero gravel wheels.
Come again?
Yep. We have some new Reynolds Aero carbon gravel wheels.
I mean, I've got Reynolds carbon gravel wheels already, but they're not aero. I think they're great already.
Yeah, well-
why do we need aero?
So for more of a sort of racing application on new gravel bikes. So
right.
these new wheels versus the old ATRs,
Yep.
they've gone hookless. So we've now got a 25mm internal width with a marginally wider outer width.
Yeah.
So Reynolds are saying they are now optimised to work with sort of 35 to 40mm tyres.
Okay.
But if you're even running up to 45, it's one of the fastest, if not the fastest option of wheel you can get.
Oh, because of the aero gains, because
Yes.
the deeper, right. I was
Yeah.
like, 45, I'm not going to run ever at 45, anything smaller than that on a gravel bike.
No.
It's not
So
big enough.
You've got 42 depth rim. Yep. But then
Okay.
paired with that
Yep.
wider internal, your tyres are going to sit like nice and flush.
Okay, it's about the aero gains.
Yes, it's
I
going
see.
to look
Yep.
really cool. So it's 24 spoke front and rear. So they're Sapling Sprint and they're laced into Reynolds Ringle SRX.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Hubs, which is
Yep.
dead cool. Available Shimano HG, Microspline, SRAM XDR, and Campag N3W, which is cool.
yep.
Currently only 700C.
I mean, that kind of makes sense for the racery aero people. They're not going to be interested in 650, even though it's more fun.
Yeah. I really like them,
That's good.
and they are going to go in my bike.
What else we got on the news?
What have we got in the news? So I think we'll go back to metal bikes.
Yes.
Yes. So Surly.
Love the juxtaposition between carbon aero gravel race wheels, and now we're going to go to. Actually, we're going to change from Surly.
okay.
Yeah, we're going to
I
go
missed one.
airdrop bikes.
Yeah, airdrop. Let's go.
So airdrop bikes is another metal bike and a UK brand.
Let's go.
Sorry, there's a lot of kind of UK brands here. They're from Sheffield, so they're from the north. It's not actually the north, but they're from the north.
Oh, steady.
There's a whole lot of country above Sheffield.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. No beef for Sheffield, nice place. They've got a new trail bike. It's called the Filter NX.
Nice.
And whilst the sort of travel is only 20mm up from the Norco that we talked about, very, very different beast.
Yeah.
So it's 141mm of rear travel, designed to be paired with a 150 fork. As we mentioned, it's alloy, so 6061. But it's all about sort of aggressive, sort of like trail slaying and berm smashing.
Nice.
A bit too much for me, I've got to admit. I'm far too mellow for that now. But yeah, as the name suggests, MX wheels. So you've got 29 up front and 650B or 275 at the back.
Nice.
It's a true 4-bar suspension setup. So you've got horse link at the back and a really nice looking CNC'd one-piece rocker. So it looks like it's got a kind of hole in, but it's not a hole. It looks really good.
Nice.
Trunnion-mounted rear shock, so 185 by 55, but it has been designed to play with air or coil.
Okay.
So they've kind of done their maths. All the good stuff that you'd want, so threaded bottom bracket, UDH, externally routed cables, fully external. Yeah, it's got one bottle cage mount. It's got like a little tool one on the top tube. 2 paint colours, which I think is quite good.
Cool.
There's like I can't remember what colours there are. 4 sizes with a reach starting at 430 going up to 500. So you can see this is like long, slack, aggressive. Head angle is 65. Seat angle is 64. No, 74.5. But actually one you've got your seat height a bit more like 78. So it'll be really steep.
That's cool.
Very short.
Yep.
433mm chainsaw.
That sounds playful.
Just remember that is with the smaller back wheel, so they can do that. Hence, you might go. But that hardtail was really short. But anyway, frame and shock from £1,899, and then complete bikes starting from £4,399. And there are lots and lots of other options. So there's like 10 decals. There's those 2 frame colours. Then there's a mountain of like, you can spec the right bar eyes, the bar width, all of those things.
Sweet.
So yeah, quite fun.
Nice.
Right.
And on to that Surly, because I think it sounds a bit different and quite fun.
Yeah, this is our and finally bit. So this is where we're just chucking something at you. We've chucked pretty much the whole kitchen sink, and now we've got an extra just to trigger you, really.
So Surly is a brand, they make some really cool stuff. I know there are loads of you out there that'll back me up on that.
Agreed,
Some sort of fan favourite models may have gone missing in action now and as things have moved on, unfortunately, but I've done loads of single speed stuff and loads of cool steel things.
Well, yeah, they've done, I mean, one of their early bikes, the 1x1, which was super famous because it was like this easy and pretty cheap and really nice riding single speed frame. And now not available. No. They did like Karate Monkey, which was like one of the first 29ers. And they've always, I guess, done fun stuff in the fact that it's like, we'll build it for like the biggest-ish tyre at the time. And then if no one makes a really big tyre, we'll make one. So they did the whole 29er plus thing, which obviously is still going for those that love it. What are we talking about here?
So what we're talking about now, it's the e-cargo bike called the Skid Loader. Which I think is a really cool name for it.
Hang on. So E and cargo bike.
Yes.
Right, great.
Yeah, bear with us on this.
Yeah, okay.
So we've got the Bosch 85 Newton meter. So it's the performance line cargo motor system. So it's on the smart system. Shimano Q's 1x10.
Nice.
Proper cool.
Yeah.
Tektro brakes on it.
Yeah.
Transex dropper post. So attainable kit.
Yeah.
Keep it nice and sort of price friendly. Clearance for mid-fat 27.5 by 2.8 inch tyres. 3 sizes. Not for all, but for the whole.
Yeah.
I think is how they're putting it.
Yeah, no,
cool.
I think that's very good, yeah.
And then pricing from $4,499. Which, I mean, if you're replacing...
It's steel as well, so yeah.
But if you're replacing your car with it, e-cargo bike...
Yeah, it's a run around, but you could put fat tyres on it. You could go off-road a little bit with it. It'd be a hoot. Let us know what you think in the comments. What was your favourite bike? And of the go-far options, do you prefer the Norco or do you prefer the Fairlight, which you're going on? Yeah. And also let us know, steel or carbon, or do you like that Airdrops alloy bike?
Nice.
Yeah. Join us in the comments down below.
Quiz time.
Oh, great, yes.
Yeah, so last week we were talking about modular frames, that new Trek fuel that's come out.
Yes.
And I asked you guys, what was the first mass-produced frame or bike to feature adjustable geometry?
Ooh.
We've got loads of interesting answers on this, actually.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so the answer I was looking for was the 1993 Specialized Stump Jumper.
Ooh, so that is very specific.
Yeah, so
it has to be. Yeah,
it featured a horse link back end with adjustable linkages and shock positioning.
There you go, very good.
Cool.
I mean, Intense would have been close, but 2 years later.
Yeah.
So there we go. Winners on screen now.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, cool. Question time. We talked about Kestrel bikes.
Yep.
And I think Kestrel bikes have got an amazing story. So they worked with two, well, at the time they're motocross engineers. They soon became ex-motocross engineers. And they developed a show bike for Kestrel.
Okay.
They then went on to do really amazing things in their own right and sort of under their own steam. So can you name both of these ex-motocross engineers and, I know it's like a triple question, what companies they went on to found?
Nice.
Yeah, get the comments down in the answers. No, the answers down in the comments. Cool stuff that we've seen.
Nice. What cool stuff have we seen this week, Owen?
I have seen the coolest bike I've seen for a long time.
Okay.
Which is a flat bar. It's a mountain bike.
Yep.
A rigid mountain bike. You could call it an ATB, or you could call it a flat bar cross bike. Let's debate that one.
Yep.
This is Ben, who is from Condor Cycles, a very storied shop in London. He's got a Bivio aluminium, so it's an aluminium framed bike. And yeah, you can set it up as a gravel bike, saying in a very small voice, or you can set it up as he has with flat bars and make it effectively like a rigid mountain bike.
Nice.
And he's done, local cross races on it. He's also done the monster 250 kilometre SSX Mystery Tour.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a bonkers ride in the southeast of the UK.
Nice.
So 29er wheels on this, but they built one with 650 as well. Cool. Yeah, I just think it's a rad, rigid mountain bike.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So, Owen.
Yes.
How do you improve on an already really cool, impressive product?
These days, a bit better paint.
Pretty much.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Bob on. So, Yoshimura Cycling, they're a Japanese motocross exhaust manufacturer, and they sort of make all the really cool stuff for the Honda factory moto team. They've essentially put a really cool coating on a set of titanium E cranks.
Right.
Which is cool. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so Works Edition E cranks. They're promising no polish and no maintenance.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so,
impressive.
10-year warranty. Prices are $1,350.
Wow.
Which, for a set of cranks, is still a lot.
Well, I mean, I think the regular Cane Creek is about $1,000 anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess the other thing that we should mention, which has been in the news, is that the GOAT, the greatest male XC racer of all time, Nino Schurter, he's going to retire this year after the Worlds. And I feel like we got really lucky this year because we've done a kind of like a bike check on his current bike. But what a kind of like story and arc of race bikes that he's been on, because he would have been on 26-inch to start with.
Yeah.
Hardtails, high post, no dropper post. Then he went to 650, stayed on hardtails. Then he went 650 in suspension. Then he finally moved to 120mm and 29er. I mean, it shows that A, he's so adaptable, and how bikes have just developed for cross country hugely. Amazing stuff.
Time for hashtag
Oh, yeah.
askgmbntech. So, from Robert Massey 3912, do you think it's a good idea to put volume spacers in a 120 XC fork and shock? I bottom out a bit too much, especially in the rear, but I don't want to increase the pressure a lot. I don't know if tokens are a good option in lower travel suspension.
I mean, great question. Yeah, volume spacers, okay, they're called tokens, they're called air pucks, they're called, loads of different things. And in some forks, you won't have pucks, but you'll have an adapter where you can sort of like pump up and change air volumes. And you can get them for front forks, you can get them for rear shocks, you can get them for all. So how do they work? So air spring are kind of compressible, and that sounds really obvious because it's going to move up and down. But because gas is actually compressible, unlike a fluid which you can't really compress, as they get squished, the kind of pressure changes inside them. And that means that there's a tunability to that, and the forks can preset with a certain characteristic of how this spring curve of how the pressure is going to ramp up. So with a coil, for example, it's not completely linear, the force that you need to compress it, but it is more linear than an air spring. So what we're talking about is this ramp up. So because we've got this volume change, by putting in these spacers or changing the size of the air spring, it means that we can create that ramp up much earlier. So it means that for a given amount of sag, it will resist bottom out. It'll easier. So when to use them? Essentially exactly what you're saying. You don't want to run a stiffer fork or a stiffer rear shock, because that's going to affect your sort of small bump performance, it's going to affect your sag.
Yep.
What you can do with the volume spacers is you can add them, effectively run the same pressure, but you'll have this ramp up in the spring rate inside the fork and the shock, and that should resist bottom out. So it should work.
Yeah.
It should work really nicely. So I guess to the question, it does depend on your fork, because some forks, you can't change them, you can't put in spacers. But I think, yes, if your fork and your shock are available to run the spacers, stick them in, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a play around.
Cool. So yeah, last week we chatted about how far could modular bikes be pushed.
Yes.
How they can grow from where they are now, and you guys chimed in some really, really cool comments.
Yeah, we did. So Bobble Off, good name.
Yeah.
It's mad. XC bikes now have 120 to 130 millimetres of travel front and back. I remember when 120 mil of travel was a downhill bike. I mean, so do I. 100 mil was the Judy DH, like the classic red fork. That was only 80 mil. Bombers were 100 mil, and it was mind-bending. And now that's not even cross-country.
Next up, we have JB2cool_MTB. I like configurators so I can pick my exact spec. This way I can essentially pick my bike by picking the frame and then spec up the different components to suit the exact build I want. This way the manufacturer doesn't have a whole load of iterations of the same model, as they can't be just built up on demand. Dior and RockShox for one customer, XT and Fox for another, whatever the customer wants. Yeah, I think that's a really cool way of doing things.
Yeah, no, it is. It gives the customer what they want, and the bike brand's not tied up.
Yeah.
Kevin M, 2025. No dropper, no ride. Not even sorry. Clear and simple.
Once you've tried one, it is kind of...
You
feel a bit lost.
I want one on my gravel bike, to be fair, so yeah.
Fair enough.
We talked about how Rivendell kind of recreating this cult classic of the low normal rear mech, aka the rapid rise.
Yep.
And Klaus Liddell, 2374, said, rapid rise, nothing shifts as smoothly as rapid rise.
Nice.
Very true.
Very true. We had a bit of fun around the plus naming on the Fuel Plus from Trek.
Because I thought it was a return of these bigger tyres, but no.
No, so Gavin Moore has chimed in and said, I still love my white 909, which is a 27.5 plus bike.
Oh, yeah. No, very good. Yeah,
Nice.
This kind of mid one. We talked about Leadville, and we talked about some of the wild bikes with drop bars and bonkers fairings on the forks. And Kate Corney set a new record, and I said the bike was completely stock.
Right.
And effectively it was, but Velo Vibe UK did say she'd got extras on that bike, and she'd got Axis blip buttons on a fork ground. So when she was holding on to the top of the fork, she could also change gear.
Oh, that's pretty gnarly. I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Real clever.
That's proper cool.
So yeah, thanks for spotting that. Very good good stuff. Right, what have we got this week?
This week, so we've got a deep dive into balance. I'm not talking track standing.
Oh, right.
No, wheel balancing.
Wheel balancing.
Yeah.
Right, okay, that'll be fun. And I've got 7 ways to make your pedals even better.